So last week, the Bauchi State Commissioner for Education, Mr. Aliyu Tilde, said that the government has concluded plans in separating male and female students in secondary schools. And why did he do this? He said, he explained that the idea was to address the moral decadence which had become prevalent among students in secondary school. Now, the update on that story is that the boys of the secondary school came out yesterday to protest, demanding that they should have been carried along with this decision. And this is a cause for concern because many parents are also worried about the moral decadence in our schools. But what other critics are saying, is this the way? Do you throw the baby away with the bathwater? Are there better ways of addressing these issues? Because these children, they have to have this co-curriculum, they have to have the co-education together. The idea is to have them to learn social skills by interacting both with male and female. So if you divide them, is that the right thing to do?
I took the story yesterday, and I think his fears are valid. First of all, also we need to, for context, Bauchi State is in the north, and we understand how conservative, culturally and religiously they can be. I'm not saying everyone is Muslim, but culturally, it's quite conservative. So there are some things also that is important to them, how a girl carries herself up until she's ready for marriage. But he also mentions that it's worrisome because they're at an age where they're experimenting. So he understands that that's the time. But he also said, so apart from that, they're also getting married quite early. So all the gains that they have, that they say they have acquired in encouraging children to go to school, encouraging girls to go to school, their boys to go to school, the out-of-school children percentage is dropping. For them, parents will get scared and say, okay, if I send my child to school and the child ends up just misbehaving, still, getting married so early, what then is the benefit?
All the other parts of it.
I think, for me, and I'm not a conservative person, I think it's a good step. I think it's a good step because my niece, recently, I got my brother to move her to an all-girls school because I saw what was happening in the mixed school. And you see, I'm not saying that it cannot happen in an all-girls school or in an all-boys school. There can be decadence. But the fear is that a 13-year-old might get pregnant. So if the governor is looking at that, because once you get pregnant at 13, it
disrupts a lot of things.
It disrupts a lot of things.
When you raise children, when children are properly raised and they know their boundaries, you're a boy, I'm a girl, we respect each other, and they are raised in that way, they can grow up and they have the hormones burning, but because they've been raised in a way to respect and keep themselves and preserve themselves to a certain point, they're likely to listen to that. So do you think we should go back to the foundation of this than just say divide them? Because dividing them doesn't solve the problem, I don't think.
Okay, so I think the government is doing what is within their powers. Just as Miriam said, it would have been, something that they carried every party along. So it would have been a decision that, they would have had continuous parents-teachers association meetings. So parents too are aware of the problem, and where they are laxing at parenting, they would beef up or sit up at it. But for me, the protest is what made me change my mind. I didn't go to a single girls, for my primary school, a single girls school, a Catholic school. But for my secondary school, was mixed, and university was mixed. I was raised here in Lagos, and I mixed with every kind of gender that, I could possibly imagine.
There are only two types of gender.
No. I'm telling you, when it comes to sex and all of that, we saw all the extremes in secondary school, sadly. In secondary school where I went. And it was a decision, formed from our backgrounds at home that made us do differently.
Yes.
So I believe that parenting is the way to go. But then, maybe government should start looking at the kids that they're talking about. We are no longer in 1991, 93, when I was in JS1. We are looking at kids who are constantly have quick links on social media, on their phones, their smartphones now. Before your parents' mind ever gets 10 steps, the child's own has gone 1,000 steps ahead. These kids see a lot of things that, even if they were not in mixed schools, they will do what they want to do. Those days when we had single-sex schools, some girls would find their way to an all-boys school over the weekend.
Exactly.
Boys too will find their way and tell girls to meet them up. So a child who is determined to do bad will do bad.
Yes.
But what I cannot understand is that students who should be focused on their education right now are protesting a government decision. I just cannot understand that one.
That is